Hi, my name is Mitch Wood. I am a friend of Sean. We met in Improv, and I'm going to answer 10 questions.
YOLO or Carpe Diem?
I guess I'm more of a Carpe Diem fan because, I don't know, Latin sounds really sexy. Whenever I hear YOLO, at the time that it first started gaining popularity, I was really turned off by the fact that people kept saying it for everything. And then some comic artist that I like, he drew a shirt that said YOLO, but he drew a bunch of owls on it and just said, "You obviously like owls." And now that's in my head. And then there was another thing where Lonely Island made a song about it. And again, I'm just picturing them like talking. Their whole premise was you only live once, so you better quarantine the shit out of yourself, which is prescient now. And then you better like pad your room and you better like not have teeth because you could cut your tongue and you'll bleed out and die. And you only live once. So yeah, Carpe Diem, because I don't think people got weird with that one as much.
Will you eat?
Yeah, absolutely. And in every context of whatever that could possibly apply to, except ass. I'll eat food. I'll eat anything else that could be eaten, just not ass. Don't eat ass.
How do you relax?
I relax usually through a series of rituals in some capacity. I was talking about a friend because, we're working at home, and what do you do to separate the concept of work and life? For me, since I have a separate room for my office and the rest of my apartment, and because I have my bedroom, I do not enter my bedroom until work is done. And so part of me relaxing is I will physically go into my bedroom and put my water bottle on my nightstand, and it feels really kind of arbitrary if you just observe it in a vacuum. But if I train myself to only do that when work is over, then my brain will know it's okay. We can sort of let our guard down. We don't need to think about hard work stuff anymore or annoying shit. We can just kind of chill the hell out. Another thing I do, because I'm a gamer, is I usually turn on my PC, and it's like I just switched from one computer to another, but now I'm booting up my personal Facebook, I'm booting up my YouTube recommendations, and I'm just, watching videos. I'm probably playing a video game of some kind. Lately it's Darkest Dungeon. And if we want to get really extreme and relaxing, I sit down, I make tea. I take a really long time to cut my vegetables, like an obscenely long time, because I find cutting is a very that sounded bad. Cutting vegetables is a very meditative practice. And then I light some incense.
What was the first video game you ever played?
Oh man, going back, I think I was maybe 2 or 3 years old, and my parents had the original Nintendo, not the Super Nintendo. It was the same system that got them through graduate school when my dad was going to Washington University, the same console that kept them up till 3 a.m. with the original Mario Brothers. So I think the first game I had to play was either the original Mario Brothers or potentially Duck Hunt. And I remember being a 2-year-old working with a CRT and putting the gun directly on the TV screen because I couldn't aim for shit. So I think that was where it all started.
Coolest art you've produced?
Man, this is going to sound like a really like bending the rules answer, but I personally view cooking as a form of art. It just happens to be one that you can consume too, which is great for me because I almost never consume my art without it having a utility purpose as well. So for Valentine's Day, my girlfriend and I, we sat down and, we have that book, that Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat, that everyone's like, oh, it's the Bible of cooking. And yeah, I think they might be right. And we had made a chicken that was marinated in like yogurt and saffron and lemon. And then we baked that for like 2 hours. In addition to that, we made this salad that was like kale and it had this sort of macerated onion, red wine, balsamic vinaigrette mix on top of it. And then it had butternut squash in it too. And I just remember taking a bite of that chicken and a bite of that salad, and it was just so beautiful. And I was so taken in by the whole emotional moment of it all, where it's like, I've created this. It turned out far beyond my expectations. And then I did it with somebody I loved, and I cried. Because it was a really good meal. It was almost like probably the most restaurant grade thing I've ever produced. It was something. it was a whole journey, a spiritual moment.
How would you describe yourself in a single sound effect?
I think that was it, actually. I didn't mean for that. That was just me thinking. But it's probably the sound of me thinking.
What will finally break the internet?
I mean, Kim Kardashian made a real honest attempt. It didn't work at all, but it was, a good start. I think we need perhaps more ass. And then again, as I think about that more, perhaps not. Maybe we become so inundated that when everyone shows their ass, nobody shows their ass. Asses become nothing to us. So I guess with that, maybe the internet gets broken when you just have, in a more serious light, just a cavalcade of misinformation so that you never get to learn anything ever again. Everything is false. Everything is obfuscated. Nothing can be relied upon. You effectively break the internet, not by taking it down, but by making it worthless.
What's a dumb trick you wish you could pull off perfectly every time?
Oh, man. I feel like I have probably like a treasure trove of these that if I've sat down and thought about them, I could really pull it out. A dumb trick that I really wish I could do perfectly is just pan flipping. I don't know that that's dumb, but like, you ever see those chefs where they're just like, ooh, look at us. We're flipping vegetables in the pan. We're flipping pancakes in the pan. And I look at it, I'm like, no, I need to take the spatula and I need to slowly rotate that. And I need to be safe because otherwise I'm just going to splatter a wall with like grease and pancake batter and nobody's going to be happy. I want to do that, And yeah, I could train myself to do it. I don't know. Can I just have the talent for free without effort? And my glass stovetop's already nasty as shit. Like, I don't need to increase entropy in my apartment right now.
What's your fast food horror story?
Okay, I got one. I had to think about that. Years ago, or not even a year ago, I was driving back from hanging out with some friends down in Appleton. There's 4 of us in the car, and we're really hungry. It's like 10:30 at night, and we're like, well, let's just go to Taco Bell because they're open, they're on the way. So we go to Taco Bell. Most of us order regular things as far as Taco Bell is concerned, but then this one person in that car ordered enough food for about 2.5 people. And that was definitely the most horrifying thing because she didn't know what she wanted either, but she just kept going. So we're going through this drive-thru and she's like, yeah, I want 2 cheesy gordita crunch wraps. And I'm like, 2 cheesy gordita crunch wraps to the guy. And he's like, anything else? And I want a large order of cinnamon sticks. Large order? Yeah, anything else? And that happened 5 times. And by the 4th time, the dude was like, anything else? And it just, after she finally said done, and I think we paid $50 for that Taco Bell meal. Of the 50, 35 was definitely hers. The other 15 belonged to the 3 people in the car who know how to spend $5 at Taco Bell. Fuck. I'm not friends with that person anymore.
You've won the lottery. What are your first 7 purchases?
First 7. I feel like number 1 has to be like some top financial expert. Somebody who can, really tell me, how do I secure these investments? How do I make sure that this is going to not just be like a quick flash in the pan, but something that lasts. Number 2, I imagine that if you want to get into specific banks or places that can secure your money, I'm just going to guess that you have to pay for that. I've never been rich enough to have to pay for very distinct, superior money protection. I fucking put my money in US Bank like a normal person. So I'm assuming that it gets weirder when you go higher. Number 3, I'm probably going to just find a way to help my parents out with whatever they need financial help with. I mean, they did that for me for college, so shit, I owe them something. Number 4, probably a house. Just not a big one, but just a house, get that good equity going and just knock it out right away so I don't have to think about it. Number 5, probably at that point, pay off whatever debts my sister might have. She changed her major 4 times, and I want to make sure that that's handled if it's not handled yet. Or, at the very least, maybe get her something nice. Number 6, pay for my sister's wedding. I know we're back to my sister again. She's got a great guy that she's dating. I know that she wants to get married to him. I know he wants to marry her. To me, he's my brother-in-law already. So if we can just make that happen, and I know that for them, they say, well, we want to make sure money is really secure before we jump into that boat. Well, fuck it. If I got the lottery money, get married. And I guess number 7 is probably just put the rest away for my own wedding. I can see myself going really exquisite on a couple things. To me, the ceremony is fine. The reception, though, I want literal tankards of mead. That's probably where most of the money will go. Is just Viking level tankards of mead. God, I love mead.
Do you feel like you're warmed up a little bit improv wise?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it always helps. I think whenever you're doing anything, you're just talk to somebody regular. Don't talk about business. Just talk about whatever regular ass thing is going on, and then you're talking, and now you're good to talk.